All right, so again, we are continuing our EOC review. So let's look at the quick review. So 4 more than twice a number x is 12. Write an equation that represents this situation. Determine the number x. All right, so here is more than twice is. All right, so when I read this, 4 more than, so more than stands for addition. And then twice a number means I'm multiplying 2 times x. Is means equal 12. So the second part is to determine the number x. So I'm going to go over here. So 4 plus 2x equals 12. Line down my equal sign. I'm going to subtract 4. So then I'm left with 2x equals 12. So 2x equals 12. Divide 2 since I'm multiplying 2 and x. So x is equal to 6. Alright, so let's look at number 2. Kendra has a babysitting business that she earns $6 per hour she babysits. She already has $50. She wants to earn enough money to buy a new phone for $350. I want to write an equation that represents how many hours she needs to babysit to earn the money to pay for the phone. How many hours does she have to work? Alright, so my first process is to write an equation. So I know she earns $6 per hour babysitting, and she already has 50. So I'm going to represent that with 6 times h. H is going to represent hours, plus the $50 she already has, and she wants that to equal $350. So now I'm going to solve this equation. So I've got 6h plus 50 equals 350. So subtract 50. So 6h is going to equal 300. 6h equals 300. Divide 6. So h is going to equal 50. So that means she has to work 50 hours babysitting in order to pay off that phone. Alright, so let's look at number 3. Solve x. Solve for x. So I've got 2x plus 5 equals 10. So line down my equal sign. I'm going to subtract 5. So 2x equals 5. So since 2x equals 5, I'm going to divide 2. So x is going to equal 5 over 2. Alright, so for the next few, I'm going to grab a couple sheets of paper. And then I'll put the answers up for you guys. Alright, so my next problem, let me go ahead and write this out. So my next problem I will be doing is 2 times 2a plus 3 minus 6 equals 5a plus 2. Alright, that's a plus. Alright, so first things first, I'm looking on the left-hand side. I'm going to distribute 2. So I'm going to end up with 4a plus 6 minus 6 equals 5a plus 2. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a line down my equal sign. Simplifying my left-hand side, my plus 6 and minus 6 cancel out. So I'm left with 4a equals 5a plus 2. Let's bring my a's to the left. So let's subtract. So I've got negative 1a equals 2. So to get rid of that multiplication of a negative 1, I divide. So a equals negative 2. So I'm going to go back over here and fill in for number 4 that a equals negative 2. Alright, so now I've got an inequality to solve. So my inequality is 2x plus 9 is less than 10. Alright, so if you don't remember how to solve an inequality, inequalities are solved the same way you would an equation. Just, you don't have an equal sign. Uh-oh, not really. All right, so first thing, draw a line down my inequality. So I'm going to subtract 9 to get 2x by itself. So 10 minus 9 is 1. I can keep bringing down your inequality. You don't have to. So I'm going to divide by 2. So if you remember, if you divide by, if you divide by a negative, you switch your sign. But if you divide by a positive, you keep it the same. So in this situation, even though I decided to switch the sign, I was wrong. It should still be x is greater than 1/2. So going back over to, and I even wrote greater than. Nope, it should be less than. Nice job, story. So let's cross that out. It should be x is less than 1/2. So I'm going to go back over here to number 5. X is less than 1/2. All right, so now I'm going to look at number 6, which is also an inequality. All right. All right, so let's look at number 6. Let's make sure. All right, so 6 is 5 minus 3t is greater than or equal to 14. All right, so again, line down my equal sign, or not my equal sign, it's an inequality symbol, and it's greater than or equal to. All right, so subtract 5 from both sides. So negative 3t is greater than or equal to 14 minus 5 is 9. Divide negative 3. Oops, I divided by a negative, so guess what? Gotta switch it. So it's t is less than or equal to negative 3. So over here, t is less than or equal to negative 3. All right, so 7 and 8, we call those literal equations, which are probably your absolute favorite equations to solve. So let's look at number 7. I've got volume is equal to length times width times height, and they want me to solve for the width. All right, so how am I going to get my length and height over to the other side with my volume? Well, the operation being performed here is multiplication. So I can just divide by length and height on both sides. So then I'm left with volume divided by the length times the height is equal to the width. Magic. So I can say width is equal to volume divided by length times height. And then for number 8, it's ax plus by equals c, and they want me to solve for x. I don't understand why they want me to always solve for the x. I mean, I've got plenty of x's. All right, so I've got ax plus by equals c. And I am solving for, I'm going to circle it, x. All right, so need to get my ax term by itself. So first thing, I'm going to subtract by. So then I'm left with ax equals c minus by. C minus by. All right, never mind. Then I've got a times x. Still need to get x by itself. So divide both sides by a. So x is equal to c minus by by over a. So for number 8, x equals c minus by all divided by a. All right, so looking at the word problems below, go ahead and break them up into pieces, especially the word problems. Highlight them, underline, circle, do whatever you have to do to pull out the key information, and then ignore the rest. So when you are done, go ahead and come check it with my key up at my desk to see how you did.